Hey guys, what's up? We got a bunch of smoke coming because I'm trying to make coffee, and it's not the coffee that's on fire, it's the fire that's trying to catch on fire. But anyway, we are back, and this is the last deal of our reliability test for our M4s and the Mark 18s. The Mark 18s all did fine last week, or I think it was last week or week before. We did the PSA M4. We only had 3 malfunctions with that. I think it was 1 with the Tula and then 2 with the Barnaul, I believe is what it was. And they were just stuck casings. So other than that, everything ran really good. So this is the last week, and we have our Colt M4, and the same exact thing. We got American Marksman, 55 grain, Tula 75, Barnaul 62, and then Brown Bear 55. So we're gonna run it. I got my buddy Matt. He's here. Probably gonna be shooting a little bit, and then we're just gonna see how it works. So hopefully everything goes good and nobody dies. And we're still running again this cheap Chinese Surefire thing. I got it on here, and just for kicks and giggles to see, the pressure pad did die out for a minute. So I don't know. That is what it is. But the light itself is still working. So we're gonna see if we can kill it. All right, so we're gonna get to it.
That little one back there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit that tiny one. Hold on.
Oh. Nothing in there. So we got our first malfunction. That's actually our first malfunction with brass at all. And I don't know, that could be the ammo. The only reason I say that, because it pushed, I can see in there, it pushed that bullet back into the case, which is really weird. I don't really see that happen very much. That is really, really weird.
It was a spent round.
No, but they pushed that bullet all the way back in there. So that's a malfunction, but I don't know if that's the rifle or if that's the ammo. That's weird. That's why people say don't shoot reloads, because that is technically a reload. I don't know if it was not crimped properly or what, but that did not work. Huh. So strike one for the brass. Alright, so all our brass is done, and that was interesting. The only thing we had was one issue. It's just really weird, and I think this is more of an ammo thing versus the gun itself, because it pushed that bullet back in that case, and you can kind of see it maybe. But the powder's still in, the bullet's still in there. It just pushed it down in there. It's really weird. But that's the only problem we've had with any of that brass at all. We kind of let the gun cool down a little bit. It was getting really, really hot, which is the whole point. But I don't want to kill my gun. You know, I don't want to burn up, you know, unnecessary wear. So we're gonna move on to the Tula and check that stuff out and see how it rolls. All right, starting with Barnaul. Okay guys, it's really hot. I just made this long, complicated introduction to why I didn't shoot on my Barnaul yet. And that was stupid. So we're gonna finish shooting the Barnaul. We have about 3.5 mags left. And before people roast me and everything on my room clearing or my haul tactics or cornering and pieing and all this stuff, okay? Yes, at one point in time, I may or may not have done that. But it's been a while, and I'm just practicing, and all that stuff is a perishable skill. You don't use it, you'll lose it. Okay, it's not like riding a bicycle. Okay, partially, yeah, but nah, you'll lose it if you don't practice. If you practice, you can get back into it. What I'm trying to say, without rambling on for too much longer, is this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take what I'm doing as something that every law enforcement agency, deputy sheriffs, and everybody does this, because no, they don't, because I'm sure I'm fouling everything up really bad, and I'm way out of practice. And don't say, oh, Marines do this all the time. No, really. We don't practice that all the time, and the stuff that we're doing here is different. Anyway, so what I'm saying, this is not, do not take this as an instructional course. So I'm not going to explain all the stuff that I'm doing, because I'm not trying to instruct you, okay? I'm really not. This is just fun. All right, we're going to get to it. Okay, here's a malfunction right here. This is with Barnaul. All right, Barnaul. Barnaul 62 grain hollow point, malfunction. I believe that was the first one. Okie dokie, folks, here we go. Last few mags, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we have most of our brown bear left. But we're gonna shoot some brown bear, and we're gonna see just how she works, doesn't work, whatever. See what happens. Sun is out. It's getting hot. No idea. It's September 1st, by the way. White rabbit. Excuse me. That really doesn't count because this is being posted probably next week. Anyway, we're gonna get back to it. I thought I was done with the, see, I'm really out of shape. I'm huffing and I'm puffing. And yeah, it's hot, but it's probably only 89 degrees, maybe 90, maybe. We got partial cloud cover. I'm just fat and lazy is all this is. 100% truth, I'm just fat and lazy. Anyway, we have, what, 3.5 mags left of the Barnaul, and then we're going to go into the brown bear. I thought we had finished the Barnaul, but we haven't. We have 3.5 mags left. So we're going to do some more of this room clearing kind of stuff, just for fun, all right? Don't take anything that I do as something that like, oh, this guy was a cop, or oh, this guy was a Marine, this is how they do it. No. I am so far out of practice that if I ever did this kind of stuff, I would probably be booed out of any tactical-minded circles on the planet. That's why I labeled this under entertainment, not training. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get to this. It's just gonna be fun stuff. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, so I'm not gonna try to explain anything that I'm doing. I was thinking of that. All right, guys, we are done. We are finally done. That was really cool. That was fun. Actually, I got more out of that than the other stuff I did combined. Just the little room clearing kind of stuff that I was doing. I'm way out of practice of that. Really need to go take classes and learn back up on that. But anyway, neither here nor there. We only had 2 malfunctions, all right? Cutting the cheese right there. Speaking about cheese, I smell like a bag of wet, like nasty moldy cheese. It is disgusting. It's so humid. Anyway, sorry. I hope you're not eating your food. Brass. We had one malfunction. It's this thing right here. I don't know. It probably won't focus. I'll try to take a picture. Remind me to take a picture. I keep saying that and then I forget. But basically, the bullet got pushed back into the. You see, some powder came out. The projectile got pushed back into the case. So most of the powder is still there. But the bullet is back in the case, and it did not chamber, thankfully. Holy cow. And so I did not fire it. Interesting factoid, whenever, this is the last of it, right, and it was a 1,000-round box, which they had about 10 or 11 extra, so that's kind of cool. But at the bottom of the box, right, it's in a bag, it was in a big old plastic bag thing, there were a few loose grains of powder. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Maybe it came from this, maybe not. Maybe I'm just making all that up. But if this bullet was already messed up in some sort, I don't remember it being like that when I loaded it, because I look at all the bullets and I'm loading them in. I don't remember it being weird, so I don't know. That's why I don't know if it's the gun or if it's ammo, because a gun problem is not really going to do this. Not that I'm aware of. Anyway, moving on. Tula, they weren't real malfunctions, per se. I don't know how to explain it. I would give like a 1.5 strike against Tula. Maybe, because sometimes they just did not want to strip out of the magazine and load. They were just stuck. So if you slapped the bottom of the magazine, they would chuck in and they'd work. So, and a lot of times, somebody else brought up a good point, and it's very true. With a lot of steel-cased ammo, a lot of steel-cased ammo, like I think some of the older Wolf was like this. I don't know if they are now, but then Tula especially, it's that silvery, this stuff right here. It's the silvery, it looks like steel, right? And sometimes it kind of has a powder-ish kind of thing on it. It does not slide very well. It does not rotate like it's supposed to when it's going up the magazine, right? Because they rotate and they move as they go up. And so they have a much greater tendency, in my experience, to jam up in the magazines, all right? And especially in steel or aluminum magazines, they have a harder time. All those were easily fixed. So I don't know. I didn't really count them. If you want to be picky about it, you could say 2 malfunctions because technically the gun, and most of those happened whenever I loaded the gun. So it is just weird. You could give it 2 if you really wanted to. So that's up to your discretion. Barnaul had one malfunction. I have it in there somewhere. I'll try to remember what it was. What was that Barnaul? malfunction. I think it just a failure to feed. It didn't feed up all the way up in there. I think it got caught. That's basically from what I remember. We didn't have any failures to extract, which is cool. We had those on the PSA M4. Finishing out, we had Brown Bear had 0 malfunctions. I think the issue there with the PSA M4, right, and these other guns having stuck casings. Here's my theory, and hear me out. Those guns are not chrome lined. Okay, those are what molybdenum, whatever kind of Star Wars steel and mixture of whatever chemicals are made with, or metals. It is not chrome lined. When it's chrome lined, chrome is a lot slicker, right? I think chrome is harder, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it is slicker. That's the main thing. It's corrosion resistance. That's why they do that for durability. It's not as good for accuracy, but for durability, that is the case. So if that is true, if that's why they use it, then that would make sense why we got 0 stuck casings, because they were easily stripped out. I think that is why. I really do think so. So anyway, this gun did really, really good. I think that's proper term. Flashlight, still working. I tell you what, this thing surprises me. The pressure pad on top, I had to take it off because it was not working. So half of the light is dead, so I guess technically you could say the light died, but the light itself is fine. I just had to put the little clicky tail cap on there, and it is running, and it is fine. And this thing got smoking hot, really hot. So it did a fantastic job. I think it really, really did a fantastic job. The gun itself did a great job. I am very pleased with it. I didn't shoot it as hard. This is actually the longest that I shot one of these guns in these sittings, because usually I burn through really quick, but maybe that's why I didn't have as many malfunctions. But officially, what we have, 2 malfunctions. Unofficially, 3 or 4, if you count those weird feeding issues, which I guess technically you should. So 3 or 4. Yeah, give it what you will. Basically puts it on course and on par with the PSA M4, maybe. We'll go over all that stuff in another video, but just something to think about. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was somewhat informative. A lot of people, they look at brass and steel casings as being, you know, one is the bread and butter of your gun. The other is, you know, the Antichrist. It's gonna melt your gun. It's gonna break your extractor. You know, your barrel's just gonna erode in 5 rounds. And really not true. You look at there's a lot of studies out there. A lot of people have done a lot more intensive testing than I have, and I don't even look down the bore of my scope, right? I don't have a bore scope and look down there and see what kind of erosion I got and all that. I don't do that. I should have done some accuracy testing before and after, but we've already done accuracy testing on these things. But functionality, reliability-wise, I think this is a good enough test for the average Joe. The average Joe's not going to come out and do this. So that's all I'm trying to say. I hope y'all like this. Again, appreciate it. If you haven't checked me out on Patreon, I'm really trying to do some stuff over there for y'all. I don't know. I really want to give more stuff away, but I can't do that if I don't have stuff to give away, if that makes any sense. So consider, if you like this stuff, consider supporting me over there. That's all I'm going to say about that. Y'all be good, you be safe. I appreciate it. Catch y'all in the next video.